A viewer asked a question about upcoming moon launch. NASA's going to send some people up into space, supposedly. And in the past, a certain individual by the name of Don Petit said that there's a lot of technology to visit the moon. And they want me to get the energy around this, what's really going on. And so I want to do a couple of things here. I thought about it for a couple of days now and what kind of spread to use. And I'm going to use my Lenormand lines of 5, which kind of shows what they want you to believe and what's kind of going on beneath it. But I also want to look at the numerology behind it as well. And so I was writing down the numbers before I hit record here. And the launch is set for 3, 6, 20, 26. Okay. And what that equals is 3 and 6 is a 9, plus this 2026 is a 10, which is a 19. Okay. And that then equals a 10, which is a 1. So the launch date is something new, some type of new beginning. And it's interesting is that they want to push something because the 9 there is attaining something. What that is, I don't know, but that's around the launch date. And then they also have a 3 and a 6 energy because 3 and 6 is 9. And the 3 is around communication, creativity, expansion, or growth. And then the 6 is usually around balance of some type. And so trying to maybe do a balancing act, because remember they said the technology's been lost, but yet all of a sudden now they want to do a launch into space. Now Canada's involved too. I'm not looking at that aspect of it. I'm looking at just the energy of this launch. Now another interesting twist to this is they have a blood moon coming up too. So 3 days after the blood moon, which is March 3rd, 2026, they're going to launch. That's a set date. And so you have a 6, 3, and the 3 is a 6. And look at the 3s here, right? That's a master number, 33, which is interesting. And then you have, see, it's all around building something, right? Expansion, growth. And then you have the 10, which equals 16. And then the 6 and the 1 is a 7. And so what's interesting about 7, so many people never tell you the shadow side of things. They all look at the bright side. Well, we can't do it. We have to look at the whole thing with unbiased twist. And the number 7 is also represents deception. Think about the 7 of Swords, right? So they're hiding something. And when you look at these 2 dates together, you get an 8. So together, you have an 8. And so they're hiding something to pull off something new. And the 8 is like that engine that always pushes forward, that forward momentum. And depending on the tradition of cards you read, that could be the Strength card, or it could be the Justice card, Marseille versus Rider Waite. But we're looking at this 8, and I'm looking at also the 8 has a symbol of the infinity symbol. It's a continuation, right? It doesn't end. So it's something they're trying to force forward, and they're hiding something of a new start of some kind. And it's funny that they're doing 3 days between, and the 3s are always around expansion, growth, or communication, comms. Okay, so keep that in mind about the numerology behind this reading. Now we're going to go ahead and go to the cards and see what it has to say. So I'm going to use Lenormand, and I might even use tarot here, just depending on, the vibe I'm getting. And so this is called my Lenormand lines of 5. And it's 2 rows, 5 and 5. And this time I'm using one deck. A lot of times I'll use 2 decks because I want to see what's on the mind, or like what they're showing you, or what the narrative is, what they want you to believe versus what's really happening. But because I want to get the energy from one deck, I'm curious to see what this is going to throw out at us, okay? And then I'm just pulling them off the top here. I'm not really going to spread them. I'm just going to pull whatever we have is whatever we have. Now, the top line is around, like I said, what they need you to believe. And this is the theme of the read here. And it's 20, okay? And this is the garden card, right? So this is around communication, social events. So some type of social gathering. They're trying to get different countries involved in this for whatever reason, and they want to communicate something. And 2 is a decision. The moon, there's a subconscious mind. So they're trying to push some type of a narrative, and they're trying to make it a global type of an event. All right, that's what they want you to think. It's something where everybody's coming together to do something. Okay. Now, as you read these, letter and the moon. So it's funny, the moon card comes up right there, and what's funny about that card is a 32, and a 32 is a 5, and 5 can be like struggle, or it can be freedom, depending on how you look at it. And the 3 is also around, again, expansion and growth. and the twos are around decisions. So it's really weird vibe. So they're saying that this letter this message they're going to put out there too, you got to use your intuition to understand what they're trying to say, because it's not going to be very clear. It's going to be a little bit clouded in a sense. There's no clouds here, but that's how I'm reading this, right? Because I'm reading this more using your intuition to kind of see through it. So, but they want you to basically believe that this is all about creativity, because the moon card in Lenormand is also around creativity, of good things happening. So a message of new creativity to bring people together. And then tree stability, for stability that brings happiness to the world, right? That's kind of the vibe that we're seeing, which is really weird, because the 4 is stability. The 5, again, another 5 card, which is freedom or entrapment. So is this really a message to entrap you, or is this something to be legit where we're actually going to really hit the moon, right? But the thing is, though, about that, I'm not going to get into that. Let the cards speak, keep my bias out. All right, so then that's energy on top. They want you to believe that there's a message that's basically going to bring some new type of a beginning, some new type of creativity, where it's going to be very emotional. That's interesting too, emotional, that people are going to talk about. That's going to bring people together, bring people stable, strong, stand strong, to have a very good outcome. That's what they want you to believe. And this message is going to be a message of light, positivity, and the emotion that come out of this is going to be turned into stability and strength. I'm actually kind of liking how I'm reading this right now. I'm not going to say what I'm thinking, but it's interesting nonetheless. And then what's really going on behind the hood is secrets. Guys, I knew it too. So even though they're communicating one way, they're only communicating half truths. They're hiding things, right? That's why you have the book here in the middle. And if you look at the card, this person is reading the book. You can't see what's in it. They're only giving you part of the messages, and that's an 8. An 8. Remember what I said about the date? You had an 8. It's something to continue moving things forward, regardless. It has a 2 and a 6 energy, the exact same thing as the numerology when we did the dates. Decisions are going to have to be made in order to bring a new peace and new balance. So something's going to happen, and everything's being done in secrecy. So what they're showing you is not real. I don't want to say it's fake, but it's not the whole story. And with digital technology today, you can fake anything, especially with AI. So keep that in mind. So there's something being hidden. All right. Go here. The house. So the house the house is going to the house is going to be centered around the astronauts, and the astronauts are going to be doing something that's in secret. So what you're seeing here is not what you think it is. And so this house could be the country, or it could be NASA. This could be NASA here. So the house is controlled by NASA, and NASA then is going to be hiding certain things. They're not really telling you. So there's something kind of going on behind the scenes. Maybe Musk is involved. I don't know. But this is the entity or the people behind it. And the secrets are going to come out and be very childlike, very immature, very radical. So whatever they're doing here is going to be a little bit unsettling, and so the strength is going to be coming from an immature or a new place. So maybe what they're saying is that the thing that they're going to pull off is a new start, because it's a very new way of looking at things, a young way of looking at things, and a radical way of looking at things like you've never seen before. So that's what the secrets are going to bring about, is very erratic behavior. And then that is then going to play on your heartstrings, because this is emotions up here. And yeah, it's almost like they want to pull on people's heartstrings. Like they're going to play a game. So like, I'm getting a really bad vibe here. Like, I don't want to say, because, when you say something, you put that into existence, and that can then generate something. So I don't want to say what I'm thinking. But I'm not liking how these cards line up, because of the way things are kind of done in hiding, and then it's coming out. So the secrets are coming out in a very erratic, unbelievable way. People are going to be like, what the hell is going on here? And then they're going to try to play on your strings, because some event's going to happen that's going to really tug on the heart. That's how I'm seeing it. And this house is going to play on the heart. And then the NASA or whoever's behind it is going to be very immature, very erratic. Almost kind of like I don't want to say like a dictator vibe, but a very unsettling vibe from the organization that's trying to pull us off. That's how I'm seeing this. I don't know if I answered your question or not, but that's the energy I'm picking up on right now, and I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Let me run the dice here real quick. See, that's a 5. Again, So some decisions are going to be made of some type, and it's going to be through communication, and it's going to be so they can do something that they wouldn't normally be able to do. And that 5 is not a 5 of freedom, it's more like a 5 of locking you down. It's a 5 of struggle. I don't get a 5 of freedom here at all, the way these cards are lined up. It feels like it's a very heavy events about to take place. And especially all the threes there, the 33s and everything else, the 333, as we saw. Usually when you see events happening, that's number that comes up quite a bit, as we've seen in the past. So I don't want to go into conspiracy theories here or twist things around, but the question was the energy I'm picking up on and this energy I'm picking up on, okay? Now, I want to also pull a couple of tarot cards here because I just want to clarify a little bit to see if maybe I'm missing something. And also, what is the vibe that you're picking up on this? And you know what we're going to do too before I pull a tarot? This dice here is 1 to 24. And what I use it for is that we're going to map it to tarot to get the archetype of this read, okay? 22. There is no 22. So that is the full. Because 21 cards, 22 becomes a full. So we're mapping back to the full, to 0. And so what that means is they're going to do something they've never done before. And they're going to hope that you buy it. They're going to hope that you buy off on whatever the manipulative tactics are. See, when I see the child together with the secrets, it's almost like manipulation. What does a kid do, right? It's a type of just erratic behavior. That's the vibe that I'm picking up on here. Now with the tarot, I want to pull some cards here. I'm kind of looking at the question again just to see if maybe I missed something, but it was really around, they said technology was lost, but I guess they found it, right? And yeah, see, just so many things I can see on this topic, but I need to keep my bias out of it, my opinion out of it. I got to let the card, that's why I'm not saying certain things I want to say, because I don't want to skew it, right? I got to let really the message come the way it needs to and taking me out of the equation. Okay. I didn't really research the question because I didn't want to. I want to just read this thing blind and just see what the cards show. All right, we're going to pick a couple cards here. Okay, so the 4 of Cups. Interesting. So when you lay it down here like that on these 4 cards, you get the feeling of like sadness, This card is usually around, some people say a pity party card, kind of feeling sorry for yourself. But it's almost like, too, that they are so focused on what they want to communicate here, they're missing out on the bigger picture because they're not being honest. And so it almost feels like they're kind of worried that people are going to catch them in the lie. That's the vibe I'm getting them. This angel figure is saying, in this 4 of Cups card, saying, hey, why don't you just for once tell the truth? He's like, I can't tell the truth. So it's really weighing heavily emotionally. And the Moon card in Lenormand also has to deal with emotions and intuition, right? So keep that in mind. Now, the next card, I'm going to pull this one here. The Lover's card. Interesting card. But what's funny here, you see how you have kind of this character and this woman coming together. It's almost like an unholy union, an unholy bond. Now, lovers is usually a very good thing in tarot. It's like where two people become one, right? It's that type of agape love, right? But here I'm reading it more like they want to bring this new thing in, this new creation in of something that hasn't been here before. So it's almost like they're going to birth some massive deception, it feels like, that people are going to believe it to be true, but it's not. Unless they use your intuition, they're not going to be able to tell whether or not it's true or false. That's the vibe I'm picking up with that Lover's card right there. Now, this deck I'm using too is the Trionfi Della Luna, so it has a different vibe than your traditional Rider-Waite. And so I'm reading it based off of the energy of the deck, not the actual book meaning, okay? Is what I see and what I feel in these cards. Just so we're clear, in case you're any tarot purists out there, you wonder where I'm getting these from, this is where I'm getting the vibe from, okay? This card here. And the 6 of Cups. See, I want you to pay attention here, because this is very heavily emotional reading. So they're going to be playing on your heart. Six of Cups is about memories, nostalgia, things like that. They want you to think about the past. They want you to think about how things may have been. And you see the butterflies popping out of that cup right there. A butterfly represents what? Butterfly emphasizes a transformation of some type, a change, because a caterpillar changes into a butterfly, right? So you have something now that's going to change, morph into something new, a change of guard, a change of hand. And look at the sun too, laying on top of the sun card. So they're going to want you to think of something extremely positive, but I'm reading it as highly deceptive. So something's not right about this launch. And you may see on TV things going up in the air, but remember, with the technology we have today, you can't believe everything you see either. All right? Keep that in mind. Now, here you have 2 6s. Okay? And the thing is, with the 6s on the Lovers card and the 6 of Cups card, they both have a 5 and 1 energy that comprise it. And the 5's around what? Like I said earlier, struggle or freedom. And I'm telling you, this feels like a trap. And then the 1s are something new happening. And the 6 is going to bring them a positive outlook in their favor, okay? And then when you add the 6 and 6 is 12 plus a 4 is a 16. Hold on. Did I add that right? 6 and 6 is 12, which reduces to a 3, and a 4 again. I read it right. 7. And what I said earlier about the 7 was around deception. So the energy I'm getting is that what you see is not going to be what you get. There's some shady stuff going on underneath. They want you to believe it's all true, it's all real, and they're going to message it that way, and they're going to push it. But what's interesting too with this deck is the letter has some blood on it. Okay, Blood Moon, and the letter has blood on the card, and what's on the seal of the card looks like the face of a moon, Blood Moon. It's the messaging something, and it's something that's hidden that they want you to think is legit. That's the vibe I'm getting. You know, again, I do not predict futures. I don't predict outcomes. I read energies, and this is exactly what I'm seeing right now, today, at this point in time. Is the energy I'm getting. Now, tomorrow could be different, but right now, this is what I'm feeling, okay? But and if you have any other questions you'd like me to read on, drop them in the comments. Let me know, or shoot me an email, whatever, you know, and if I think it would be a good one to do, I'm going to do it. And I'll probably do it blind like this. I didn't research this, so I don't have any of the specific details around this reading. I just went for it and just hit it. Anyway, this is called my Lenormand line of 5s. And if you like a reading for yourself, head over to wordswithtwist.com, book a reading, Lenormand line of 5, and I can do one for you. And yes, I actually do blend sometimes. So even in your reading, if I do one for you, I will do multiple things sometimes, or maybe I'll just do the Lenormand by itself. Anyway, that's all I got. And I hope to see each of you in my next reading. All right. Bye, everybody. See ya.